Tate Martell package near the goal line. I don't know if you have more time to review that, but now that Dwayne Haskins is dropping things, I was wondering if that had any impact on the way that you are viewing that.
It hasn't been decided, and I'm a Tate Martell fan, so I'm pushing it real hard, and we're going to do what's best. But I think your question was, appropriate yesterday, but certainly not him. Say, well, it's not working because he's not doing a good job. There's other things involved.
Yeah, and it's not something that's anti-Tate. It's just much as it seemed more necessary that you could need that back.
I want him in the game.
Okay. Front row left, Doug.
Urban, obviously we've seen Chris Olave. I think Teron Vincent had a role on third down in the last game. Tyler Friday, Tyreek. There's some freshmen, true freshmen, who are doing some things for you here at the end of the year. That's a highly rated recruiting class. In general, we know what Olave is doing. How's that group coming along, do you think?
Josh Proctor's another name that is one of those unsung heroes for us. Taraji Mitchell played one of his best days, just wiping guys out on kickoff. And once again, the unsung heroes that we called them yesterday, and I showed the whole team sat right here, and it was probably 30 minutes of watching the heroes play. And it's called field position, it's called selflessness. Keandre Jones was ridiculous, he's not a freshman. But a very good class.
And again, what is it, you've done a long time, for guys this late in the year, some of the first year guys who just got here, what do you have to see for them to be able to help you? What are you looking for?
Practice, and at this point it's been decided.
Yeah.
It's about 5-6 weeks ago, it's the guys that, the care factor, the intensity, Josh Proctor went from a non-productive teammate to a very productive teammate. And it all started with, a couple motivational, inspirational meetings and confrontational meetings. But he's a good kid from a good family. He wants to play. Now he's playing at a very high level for us.
And I know you want to look forward, but to not look back. But can you just take us a little bit inside the offensive game planning for that Michigan game? It just seemed like you guys in Week 12 had a great idea of what you wanted to do, and then your players went and executed it. Ryan and Kevin and you and the whole offensive staff, can you give us just a brief look at what last week was like and how it came together, what the plan?
Well, it was going to come down to one-on-one matchups. We knew that, and not just a receiver. They're man-free. That's their base coverage. Their second coverage is cover two. And when I say, one-on-one battles, and you win the battle, you win the war. And we have enough guys win the battle, you win the war. And that goes from Isaiah Prince blocking their number 3 to Thayer Mumford blocking her 15, and then also the inside guys blocking number 10, who's a hell of a player for them. But the one-on-one matchups, our guys did it. Heck, obviously you saw it. And we worked extremely hard on that, but you also have talented guys that really care.
Front row right, Bill.
What makes KJ Hill unique?
He's one of the toughest. He's a real tough guy. He's got a little arrogance to him, and he's very talented. He's not as fast as some of these other guys, but he's a student of the game. He's one of those guys that understands space, understands leverage. He's got great ball skills.
And this is your 4th time at the Big Ten championship game. Given the circumstances this year, the ups and downs, how special is it for you to be back in this situation?
Only special if you win it. It is Coach Mick and I talk about that, about what is the objective. I used to say compete for championships in November, and he went a step further and get to Indy. Now we're in Indy, so go win it.
And can you just give your impressions of Northwestern, what you studied so far?
Yeah, their coach and I have been friends for a long, long time. I think he's one of the best coaches in college football. I don't think he is. He's one of the best coaches in college football. And his kids play like that. I know Coach Hankowitz since he was at Colorado. And Nick McCall, I've known him since he was a high school coach in Denver. And they're just great people that coach their tails off, and their players are a reflection of their staff.
Front row right, Tim.
Yeah, Urban, following up on that, specifically defensively, what is it that you see from them that just stands out? I mean,
they keep it in front of you. They're they're very smart guys. They obviously, get too much technical, but it's just they understand it's all tied together, and they keep the ball in front of you. I don't know I'll probably get that here in a minute, but they're big plays. You just don't see big hits against them, and they're primarily a zone coverage team, and they keep the ball in front of you. And sometimes that's nowadays that's harder than a team that you know is going to be man coverage across the board.
Wyatt Davis, we talked about him a little bit, but here you are going into a Big Ten championship game and starting a guy for the first time. what are the, I don't know, what's the anxiety level in taking that into account? What have you seen from him specifically the last several weeks that made you talk about him so much?
Just practice. I'm sure you've heard that many times. All of a sudden, you just see the guy we have inside drill every Tuesday, and you just saw this, this kid, a highly recruited guy that was a little lost in the weeds his freshman year, and fatigue would often get him. And once he figured that out, came from one of the best programs in America, in California. But just a guy that's he's a rugged guy, and he's been scratching and clawing for playing time ever since, probably 5-6 weeks ago. It's been close.
Mm-hmm.
But we just don't want to disrupt the flow with the 5 guys that are in there.
One other thing, you know, I get this question all the time. How are you doing?
Good.
What are your plans? And then Saturday, you know, the TV camera seemed to be on you as much as it was the action
Good.
on the field. And just, you know, what are your plans
Good.
post whatever? Yeah.
Good.
So you're good.
Good.
That's the definitive statement.
Front row right, Austin.
Urban, I don't know if you call them the hot pass or push pass, whatever it is with Paris. There was some debate about whether it should count as a run or pass. How do you guys count it? What do you
Pass.
What do you like about that play?
Well, it's like any play. It's the who's doing it. You know, for a guy like non-Paris running it, it's okay. With a guy like Paris, we try to design as many plays to have him touch. A little bit like Curtis Samuel a few years ago. He's that checker that you want to touch the ball. There's no easier way. Now there's some risks to that too, but I think our coaches really do a great job picking the time and making sure it's the right time to call it, etc.
Do you? I guess the point is to mitigate the risk by making it count as a pass in case the exchange doesn't go smoothly.
That's exactly right. And you don't have to break when you. That's a great question. When we used to do the handoff, you have to slow down a little bit. Here it's just, and you run through it.
Second row right, Andy.